Welcome to another episode of J.K. Michael's Knowledge Series. Today we'll be talking about business analysis. Now our focus will be on the specifier model requirements task, which is one of the 7 tasks under the requirement analysis and design definition knowledge area, as described in the business analysis body of knowledge. The business analysis task, specify and model requirement, is performed to analyze, synthesize, and refine elicitation results into requirements and designs. Recall that when we perform the elicitation on the stakeholders, we emerge with an understanding of the needs of the stakeholders. Most of the times, these needs are not captured in the forms or formats that are easily usable by the required stakeholders for further analysis and design of a solution. It is therefore the responsibility of the business analyst to structure these needs irrespective of whatever form they might have been captured into usable representations of the need, also known as requirements, and usable representations of the solution, also known as designs. When captured in these usable forms, the needs and the elicitation results will become more useful and more valuable when analyzed for the development of a solution. Specify and model requirement tasks will often require analysis of elicitation results and creating representations of these results. Please note that when the focus of specifying and modeling activity is on understanding the need, the outputs are referred to as requirements. When the focus of specifying and modeling activity is on a solution, the outputs are referred to as designs. In many IT environments, the word design is used specifically for technical designs created by software developers, data architects, and other implementation subject matter experts. All business deliverables are referred to as requirements. In addition to the models used to represent the requirements, this task also includes capturing information about attributes or metadata about the requirements. The specifying and modeling activities relates to all requirement types. As expressed earlier, we begin this task with elicitation results in any state. As we attempt to create representation of this elicitation, we might understand better if further elicitation is required to clarify or expand on the requirements. The elements are the key concepts that are needed to understand how to perform a task. For specify and model requirements, they include element 1, model requirement. A model is a descriptive and visual way to convey information to a specific audience in order to support analysis, communication, and understanding. Models may be used to confirm knowledge, identify information gaps that the business analyst may have, or identify duplicate information. Models therefore clarifies for the business analyst and the stakeholders concerned the veracity and the value of the requirements being analyzed. Business analysts may use one or more of the following modeling formats to express requirements and designs. A. Matrices. A matrix is used when a business analyst is modeling a requirement or a set of requirements that have a complex but uniform structure which can be broken down into elements that apply to every entry in the table. Consider matrices as tools that can be used to organize the elements of a requirement that has diverse characteristics, as long as these diverse characteristics are structured enough to be organized using a table. Matrices may be used for data dictionary, requirements traceabilities, or for gap analysis. Matrices are also used for prioritizing requirements and recording other requirements, attributes, and metadata. The requirement traceability metric is one of the most popular matrices used in business analysis. A business analyst may also use a diagram to represent a requirement or a set of requirements. A diagram is a visual, often pictorial representation of a requirement or a set of requirements. The diagram is often useful to depict complexity in a way that would have been difficult to do with words. Diagrams are also used to define boundaries for business domains, categorize and create hierarchy of items, and show components of objects such as data and their relationships. When expressed in either of these formats, requirements tend to shape into categories such as A. People and roles. These models represent organizations, groups of people, roles, and their relationship within an enterprise and a solution. Examples will include organizational modeling, what we understand to be a simple org chart, roles and permissions matrix, and stakeholder list map or personas. Models can also show rationale. This category simply demonstrates the why of a change. Examples of models that represent rationale could include decision modeling, scope modeling, business model canvas, root cause analysis, and business rules analysis. We also have models that represent a sequence of action, events, or a course that may be taken. These activity flow models may be expressed using techniques such as process modeling, use cases and scenarios, and user stories. Models may represent capability if it focuses on the features or the functions of an enterprise or solution. Techniques used to represent capabilities would include business capability analysis, functional decomposition, and prototyping. Models may also represent the characteristics of data and information and how they may be exchanged within an enterprise or solution. Techniques used to represent data and information include data analysis, data flow diagram, data modeling, glossary, state modeling, and interface analysis. Business analysts should use any combination of models best suited to meet stakeholder needs in a given context. Each modeling technique has strengths and weaknesses and provides unique insights into the business domain. Element 2. Analyze requirements. Business analysis information is decomposed into components to further examine for anything that must change to meet the business need, anything that must stay the same to meet the business need, missing components, unnecessary components, and any constraints or assumptions that may impact the component. As a business analyst, you want to structure the requirement to cater to the needs and bridge the gap in the understanding of your stakeholders. You want to express the requirements in their preferred level of details according to the industry organizational standards and in line with any contractual or regulatory obligations, amongst other factors. The analysis provides a basis for discussions to reach a conclusion about solution options. Element 3 represents requirements and their attributes. A good business analyst should properly represent relevant information about requirements and their attributes as part of the elicitation results. The requirements should be clearly represented and in sufficient detail to enable further solution construction using the representation. Various attributes of the requirements may be specified for each requirement or sets of requirements, such as the source, ownership, priority, riskiness, and so forth of the requirements. Business analysts identify information for requirements and their attributes as part of the elicitation result. It also helps to represent them in the appropriate classification schema. Is the requirement under analysis a business requirement, stakeholder requirement, solution requirement, or transition requirement or design? Typically, elicitation results contain information of different types, so it is natural to expect that different types of requirements might be specified at the same time. Categorizing requirements can help ensure that the requirements are fully understood, a set of any type is complete, and there is appropriate traceability between the types. Element 4. Implement the appropriate levels of abstraction. The level of abstraction of a requirement varies based on the type of requirement and the audience for the requirement. Not all stakeholders require or find value in the complete set of requirements and models. It will be appropriate to produce different viewpoints of requirements to represent the same need for different stakeholders. Business analysts take care to maintain the meaning and the intent of the requirement over all representations. The business analysis approach may also influence the level of abstraction and the choice of the models used when defining requirements. To summarize, specify and model requirements and designs. Help the business analyst to structure, analyze, describe, and represent the requirements and designs in the form of text, matrices, and diagrams. When described thus, it becomes easier to use them to communicate, educate, fill gaps in the requirements, and build a solution that speaks to the right stakeholder needs. The business analyst achieves this by describing the requirements in understandable formats such as text, matrices, diagrams, and other required models. The business analyst also considers the form, level of details, and how the models should be presented depending on the context, audience, and the purpose of that piece of the work. Now it's time for my questions. Would there be a possible consequence for trying to develop a solution without specifying and modeling the elicitation results into requirements and designs? What do you think it would be like to work this way? Indicate in the comment section of the video. I'll look through it and might offer feedback if required. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button right at the bottom of this video. See you in the next video.